You know, for us barrel counters, this is a fascinating year, this year, next year, because we're going to find out sort of who's right. The IEA has been saying that demand for oil will begin to decouple from GDP, especially in the OECD countries, and fall, even with heavy, strong GDP growth. And demand will fall because the IEA says of efficiency gains due to policies in the automobile fleet and EV penetration. So that's one view. In other words, if we're really on track for peak demand by the end of the decade, which is what the IEA and others believe, then we need to see it now in the data now. And then you have others like OPEC and me, Rapidan is certainly in this camp in terms of forecasting, where we don't see that decoupling of oil demand, especially in transportation, especially in the OECD countries, from GDP. The cars aren't becoming more efficient. Folks love the SUVs, and EVs are coming. They're coming fast, but not fast enough to put a peak in demand this decade. That's the debate tree that we're having right now.
It's a moot point, Bob, and your point is taken. So where then, at what point do you think that structural displacement and peak oil is going to occur?
Well, in our forecast, we don't see it for the next 10 years, even if we aggressively assume EV penetration. And here's why. Again, you're starting out from such a small base with the EVs, and often they are second cars. So they're not displacing, electron for barrel of oil. What you really need for this decade is for gasoline cars to become a lot more efficient. You need faster efficiency gains in the fleet, and of that, Sri, there is no sign. Policies are too weak. That is not happening. So I believe it's possible we will start to see a plateauing in the next decade, maybe 10, 15, 20 years from now, assuming EVs penetrate strongly. However, this decade, I strongly believe consensus expectations of peak demand by the end of this decade, which, again, I want to emphasize, means demand has to slow now. That's going to be, that's wrong. And demand is going to be a lot stronger than people expect. And therefore, we're going to have a lot tighter market later this decade for oil.